You might stand, check it out.
Oh, really?
There it is.
Yes.
I'm gonna take it home. I can always keep it.
Page 23. Prabhupada, Johnny.
Nice. Yeah. It's not as strong.
Sorry, that wasn't a very good toss.
No, that's all right.
Get some mercy Balaram off that?
Huh?
Did you get a little mercy off
No,
that?
just
Not a drop.
I tried to.
Not a drop.
I tried to
Not a drop in the
catch
ocean.
it, but I didn't catch it.
Oh. Yes, the shaker got more mercy.
I
Huh?
wasn't expecting it. So that's why I wasn't ready. But we'll try it anyways.
Excuses. If I could have a book. Awesome. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari.
Vishwadhanam Sapravijekacharya Sosarasata Shishimadei Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Prabhupada Ki Jai. Granjaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Ramanandi Glorious to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shishi Guru. All glories to Shishi Guru. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Beginning to hear about Huti's lamentation in the 3rd canto, 23rd chapter, text number 7. Ye me swadharma niratasya tapasamadi.
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 Vidyatma yoga vijata bhagavat prasada.
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 Taneva te madanusevana virudhan.
Taneva te madanusevana virudhan.
Taneva te madanusevana virudhan.
Taneva te madanusevana virudhan.
Dristim prapasya vitaramya bayana shokam.
Dristim prapasya vitaram yayana shokam.
Dristim prapasya vitaramya bayana shokam.
Dristim prapasya vitaram yayana shokam.
Ye me swadharma niratasya tapasamadhi.
Ye me swadharma niratasya tapasamadi.
Vidyatma yoga vijita bhagavat prasada.
Vidyatma yoga vijata bhagavat prasada.
Taneva te madanusevana virudhan.
Taneva te madanusevana virudhan.
Drishtim prapasya vitaram yabayana shokam.
Drishtim prapasya vitaram yabayana shokam.
Ye me swadharma niratasya tapasamadi.
Ye me swadharma niratasya tapasamadi.
Vidyatma yoga vijita bhagavat prasada.
Vidyatma yoga vijita bhagavat prasada.
Taneva te madanusevana yavirudhan.
Taneva te madanusevana virudhan.
Drishtim prapasya vitaram yabayana shokam.
Drishtim prapasya vitaram yabayana shokam.
Yea,
Those
which
may
by me
Swadharma
own religious life,
own religious life.
Niratasya fully equipped with tapaha in austerity, samadhi in meditation, vidya in Krishna consciousness, Atma yoga by fixing the mind, Vijata achieved, Bhagavat prasadaha, the blessings of the Lord, Tan, him, Eva, even, Te, by you, Mat, to me, Anusevanaya, by devoted service, Avarudha, obtain, Drishtim, transcendental vision, Prapasya, just see, Vitarami, I'm giving, Abhayan, which are free from fear, Ashokan, which are free from lamentation. Translation. Cardamom Muni continued, I've achieved the blessings of the Lord in discharging my own religious life, of austerity, meditation, and Krishna consciousness. Although you have not yet experienced these achievements, which are free from fear and lamentation, I shall offer them all to you, because you are engaged in my service. Now just look at them. I'm giving you the transcendental vision to see how nice they are. Please repeat. Kardama Muni continued.
Kardamuni continued.
I've achieved the blessings of the Lord.
I've achieved the blessings of the Lord,
Discharging my own religious life.
discharging my own religious life,
Of austerity, meditation, and Krishna consciousness.
of austerity, meditation, and Krishna consciousness.
Although you have not yet experienced
Although you have not yet experienced
these achievements,
these achievements,
which are free from fear and lamentation,
which are free from fear and lamentation,
I shall offer them all
I shall offer them all
to you, because you are engaged in my service.
because you are engaged in my service.
Just look at them.
Just look at them.
I'm giving you the transcendental vision
I'm giving you the transcendental
to
vision
see how nice they are.
to see how nice they are.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Devahuti, engaged only in the service of Kardama Muni. She was not supposed to be so advanced in austerity, ecstasy, meditation, or Krishna consciousness. You think that kind of describes us sometimes? We're not so advanced in austerity, ecstasy, meditation, or Krishna consciousness. But imperceptibly, she was sharing her husband's achievements, which she could neither see nor experience, imperceptibly. It was taking place, but she didn't even realize it. Now we can hope for that. Automatically, she achieved these graces of the Lord. What are the graces of the Lord? It's stated here that the graces of the Lord are abhaya, free from fearfulness. In the material world, if someone accumulates $1 million, might surprise people to hear, but he's always full of fear. Because he's always thinking, what if the money's lost? But the benediction of the Lord, Bhagavat Prasad, is never to be lost. It's simply to be enjoyed. There's no question of loss. One simply gains and enjoys gaining. Bhagavad Gita also confirms this. When one achieves the grace of the Lord, the result is that sarva dukkani, all distresses, are destroyed. When situated in the transcendental position, one's freed from the two kinds of material diseases, hankering and lamentation. This is also stated in Bhagavad Gita. After devotional life begins, we can achieve the full result of love of Godhead. Love of Krishna is the highest perfection of Bhagavat Prasad, or divine mercy. This transcendental achievement is so greatly valuable that no material happiness can compare to it. Prabodhananda Saraswati said that if one achieves the grace of Lord Chaitanya, he becomes so great that he does not care a fig, even for the demigods. He thinks of monism as hellish. For him, the perfection of controlling the senses is as easy as anything. Heavenly pleasures become to him no more than stories. Actually, there's no comparison between material happiness and transcendental happiness. By the grace of Kardama Muni, Devahuti experienced actual realization simply by serving. Simply by serving. We get a similar example in the life of Narada Muni. In his previous life, Narada was a maidservant's son, but his mother was engaged in the service of great devotees. He got the opportunity to serve the devotees, and simply by eating the remnants of their foodstuff and carrying out their orders, he became so elevated that in his next life he became the great personality Narada. For spiritual advancement, the easiest path, now we're all looking for that, the easiest path is to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and to serve him with heart and soul. That's the secret of success. What's the secret, Dr. Larry?
To take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master
And
serve him with heart and soul.
it's a good one-liner. That is the secret of success. As stated by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his 8 stanzas of prayer to the spiritual master, Yasha Prasada Bhagavat Prasada. By serving or receiving the grace of the spiritual master, one receives the grace of the Supreme Lord. By serving her devotee husband, Kardama Muni, Devahuti shared in his achievements. Similarly, a sincere disciple, simply by serving a bona fide spiritual master, can achieve all the mercy of the Lord and the spiritual master simultaneously. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Radha Giridhari ki
Jai.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Gunanjana Salakya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatarne Panchakopaturubhyascha Gurivasum Nivivevacha Pratitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. What a juicy purport. You asked about work now, samadhi later. Devahuti's giving the samadhi. She's done all the hard work. So if you're not feeling the ecstasy in Krishna consciousness, just keep it the hard work. Actually, Srila Prabhupada has said that Krishna consciousness is simply joyful. That's Krishna's words. He certainly realized it. The karmis, the fruity workers, even they realize you want to become rich. Many people do in this age of Kali. That's what's promoted. Make the buck so you can enjoy and control. If you want to become rich, find something you like to do, and you'll never work a day in the world. Just find something that people will pay you for, and just do it. You'll be happy doing it. Despite the ups and downs, the obstacles, this and that, if you're doing what you like, it's not even considered work. It's just the challenge of fulfilling your desire. So similarly in Krishna consciousness, there's no comparison between material happiness and transcendental happiness. It's not even on the same page. It's not even in the same realities. No comparison. Stool and halwa. Now the hog-like, conditioned souls think stool is mighty fine. The fresher, the better. One time a friend of mine was in an outhouse. He went to take care of bodily needs, bodily functions. He looked down and there was a hog just ready to relish that feast. It's no difference between them and us. When we think we're the body and want to titillate the senses or, excite the mind, same pleasure. Same pleasure. But it doesn't even compare to transcendental happiness because you get it for a moment and then it's gone. This brings in the hankering and lamenting. In Krishna consciousness, there is no hankering and lamenting. Because Krishna is full in himself. And if one is serving Krishna or the servant of Krishna, then we become full. We become satisfied. Success or failure in our endeavors, that's not our concern. We're just the, sold out servant of the spiritual master. He tells me to do this, I do it. He and the Lord can take care of the results. Because we become free, increasingly free of the bodily concept of life, then we're not considering these stupid concepts. I like and I don't like. Those two one-liners keep us in the material world. That's all the mind's doing. Is acting on that platform. I like this. No, I don't like that. That has nothing to do with devotional service. What does Krishna like and what does Krishna not like? Now, how do we know? Because the spiritual master is telling us what Krishna likes and what Krishna doesn't like. I saw a paper, and it must have been in your room, Balaram. Devamrita Swami was here. There was like a menu. My God, I was thinking, whew. He definitely has his diet that he considers best in the service of the Lord. And then he has things he doesn't like. Why? He's a person. Krishna is a person. He likes things and he doesn't like things. And when you get on that platform of pleasing the spiritual master, then there is no more this hankering, lamenting. One becomes fixed in mind, just on the service. This hankering, you're thinking about the future. I want to get that so bad. Lamentation. Oh, God, I had it and I lost it. Another way of seeing it. Lamentation, Srila Prabhupada, is for Shudras. Mode of ignorance. Hankering, karmis, fruitive activities, mode of passion. Those modes are not very advantageous for engaging in the Lord's devotional service. We make do with what we have, with who we are in our psychophysical nature. And we offer it to Guru. And if we're realistic with ourselves, we understand our offerings of service are very flawed. That's why before you do puja, before you chant japa, before you do any service, you should be of the mentality, please help me. Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, please help me. Because, at best I might be a spider, but more aptly I'm one of the monkeys in the army trying to pull this thing together for your pleasure. Tamal Krishna Maharaj's dream before going out or while being out in some surgery was he was before Srila Prabhupada and all the previous acharyas, and they were wanting to know what the story is, what's the progress, and Srila Prabhupada told his Guru Maharaj and the previous acharyas, my disciples, they're not qualified. They have so many disqualifications, but they have one good quality. They do what I tell them to do. That Guru Shraddha, that Guru Nishta Bhakti is the divine saving grace for all of us. In the beginning, Srila Prabhupada says one becomes attached. As one advances, one becomes attached to the service. The service is the divine grace. It is the mercy. Of course, the full maturation, did I say it properly? Maturation of the service is love of God. Something we can just fold our hands and look up at with great awe and reverence. But if one becomes attached to the service of the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada says that that's the same as seeing the Supreme Lord. The Lord reveals himself first and to begin with as devotional service. Service to Krishna and Krishna, they're non-different. And if we become attached to serving Krishna as directed by the spiritual master, then it's just a matter of time before we become blessed by the spiritual master. Kardama Muni, totally fixed on his service to the Lord. Austerity, meditation, ecstasy, full Krishna consciousness. He had love of Krishna, love of God, Vishnu brain. And when he came to a certain point and reflected upon the service that his wife had been offering him, he was just so grateful. And when you are the richest man, the gifts you can give in gratitude for those who have done something for you are incredible. When money is not an object, it's like in this Chasing Rhinos with the Swami, when they got marble for the altar for Radha Londonishwara. George Harrison bought the $10,000 marble or whatever, and there was a sculptor there, a friend of his, with them inspecting the marble, getting his advice, etc. And because George and the sculptor were friends, before leaving, George picked out this huge piece of granite. Big, expensive, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of granite. And he said, "Here, I want to give this to you." The spiritual master has something that makes all the riches of the world look like stones and pebbles. The kind of thing that when you get in your foot, you dust it off. You want to get rid of it. There's no comparison between the divine grace of the spiritual master and anything of this world. And when we are hearing properly this message the spiritual master is giving us and the science of Krishna consciousness, then we start to realize that. What am I doing so overly concerned about whether I like something or I'm happy in some, temporary situation? ABC's first thing we're told is any happiness we get, it's more than we deserve. It's Krishna's mercy, and I'll enthusiastically serve Him in my happiness. And when something becomes rough, and I don't like it, and it makes me angry or upsets me or makes me disappointed, then we should realize, as we're told by Srila Prabhupada and Shastra, you deserve so much worse. Where's your gratitude? You should be, Lord, if we had not been saved by the devotees, followers of Srila Prabhupada, Nagatika Topi, who can imagine what our destination would be? We should stay fixed in that type of realization. 3 times a day, the verse is quoted in the purport. You should be begging for mercy and gratitude. Thank you. Whatever we're doing, whatever we're in, circumstances, whatever service we had, thank you, thank you. Can I please, with your help, qualify for more mercy, for more service? It's all about the service. And Lord Chaitanya's 3 principles, let's just put it in terms of seva. We won't use the exact Bengali. It's service to the holy names, service to the devotees, and service to the conditioned souls. It's all about service. Service to the Srimad Bhagavatam, attentive hearing. Tulsi seva, deity worship or service, temple seva, everything seva. That's what Srila Prabhupada's offering. I'm so sorry I didn't get to hear your class yesterday. I moved the day before and I was just dead dog tired, and I knew I was going to lay down the corpse and let it recharge. But it was talking about, see if I can connect the point. If I didn't lose it. Yeah, the body. We're so overly concerned about the body. We have to maintain health for Krishna service. Why? Not because we like it, because it's Krishna's body. And He's got something to do with your body. It's the spiritual master's property. That's what it means when you take initiation. You're offering your life to the spiritual master. Do whatever you want with it. There's no secret what He wants us to do. He wants us to help others become Krishna conscious. And the more we understand that and act on that principle in all our services, I want to become Krishna conscious and I want to set a good example. If no other way, setting a good example is preaching. If you think preaching is just going out to distribute books or just, bending someone's ear with the philosophy, no. Preaching should be everything we do, because we're throwing our life at the feet of the spiritual master in service with heart and soul. Srila Prabhupada, in his purport to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Devasayatmaka Buddhir Ekaha Kuranandana, he said, that's the secret right there. Whatever the spiritual master wants, let me dedicate my life to try and fulfill that. Same thing was said in here. The secret of success and spiritual advancement is taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and serving with heart and soul. So sometimes the modes eclipse our focus on that one simple point. And so we're meant to just pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep on trying, asking for the toleration of my Prabhus, for my disqualification, my shortcomings. I'm trying, but I fail miserably in reciprocating properly to you. I fail miserably at times in doing my services. And you just keep trying. We're all just trying. And when the spiritual master sees that this boy, this girl won't stop trying, it doesn't take a lot to please the spiritual master. I mean, if we can use the mundane analogy of a mother for the child, it's like, they're tickled pink over just hearing goo goo gaga in the beginning. When the spiritual master sees you trying to chant Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, even if it's just, offensive in the beginning, that's service. You don't have to be chanting Hare Krishna. And it's not surprising about devotees who give up chanting Hare Krishna. Maya is dedicated to doing her service nicely. And she's going to test each and every one of us. How much do you want to serve? Or have you got other motives for being here in the temple, being here in this movement? What do you want? Really, what do you want? If Krishna were to stand before us, give us his darshan, and offer us benedictions like Nishingadev did Prahlad, would we have the wherewithal? Would we have imbibed the instructions of the spiritual master in our heart sufficiently where we would say, I don't want anything. Just let me continue serving my spiritual master. Please. And if the insistence is there, no, I want to give you something, then you pray for others. Oh my goodness, there's no one more dear to Guru and Krishna than such a bona fide disciple. This is what we're doing here. And the sooner we embrace it and try to figure out what's favorable and what's not favorable, to try and come up in the modes to the mode of goodness, because when we reach the mode of goodness, then controlling the mind is not that hard. That's the recommended platform to be standing on to do your swan dive into the nectar of the ocean of devotional service. Being regulated, being austere, imbibing knowledge by practicing it, applying it. These things are all the gifts of the spiritual master, and they're all leading to the big present under the tree, the big and best, the one they said, wait, open this one last. Krishna praying. How's that last thing? For every, how's it go, the last part of the 10 offenses? Every Vaishnava should carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna praying. As far distant as it may seem, we should always think, wow, that's what's being offered. And if we have the desire, the spiritual master will fan it, and he will help us sooner or later. Most of us in our movement are mercy cases, and we may not see it imperceptibly. All this is going on. We're in the jumbo jet airplane, and we're speeding along, but it seems like, wow, I'm just not getting anywhere in my Krishna consciousness. Sometimes it may seem like that. But the fact of the matter is, there's so much potency in this service to the spiritual master and the devotees. When they offer it to their guru on up the ladder, when it's offered to the feet of Lord Chaitanya and his associates, it's the perfection of life. And that's what's taking place. Everything we're doing is the perfection of life. Especially if with consciousness we're doing it, trying to please the spiritual master and Krishna. What's the difficulty? Any questions or comments? I actually left time for that today. I give you the transcendental vision to see how nice it is. Lord Chaitanya told Narayani, chant and dance in ecstasy of love of Godhead. That's all he did. He said a one-liner. Prema just descended within her heart, reawakened within her heart. Same thing with the spiritual master. More and more, he's opening our darkened eyes, operating on the eyes and removing the cataracts. And more, our vision's becoming clearer to appreciate what we're being given. I want to say to Prabhu.
The topic is causes mercy. Because here she performed her service very nicely, and then she received the blessings. Now, maybe many times, but there's one time I know the devotee asked Prabhu, some of my friends, they didn't join, but we joined. Mm-hmm. So why is that? What does it mean, causes mercy of the Lord? In other words, do we need to do something to get the mercy of the Lord, or is causes mercy mean Krishna just picks you out of the lineup without any previous qualification? apparently here, she had to do something in order to
She
receive
worked
the
hard.
blessing. Yeah.
She worked herself to the bone.
Is there such a thing where you didn't do anything to deserve the Guru and Krishna's mercy and you just got it?
Is that a question?
Yeah. Is that
Yeah, certainly
possible?
those examples are there, but they're super rare. You know, back in Gora Leela, when they were on the planet, then right and left, a glance. The wind simply going across the body of Lord Nityananda could give one Krishna prema. And then that infectious pandemic, you know, whatever, you know, it was just a contagion let loose. Krishna prema was flooding everywhere. So that was there, but now we have to show some intent, some desire. And it really is about the relationship with the spiritual master. Once you dial in on that, which expands, of course, slowly but surely, Guru, Vaishnavas, conditioned souls. Just a little desire. I mean, you know, in business terms, a little bit of investment and the return is unlimited. Oh my God, what a proposition. One life for service to the Guru, trying my best and getting eternal life of service to Krishna, his associates. So we have to show some endeavor. Causeless, we don't deserve it. It's far more than what we deserve. How can we ever repay remind me, how can we ever repay the spiritual master? Srila Prabhupada answered in many ways, but one for us to certainly remember that is relevant. You can't repay the spiritual master. You should always act in a way in which you understand that. You're trying to please him, trying to please him. I'll never give up trying to please him. And before you know it, you'll close your eyes. Lightning and illumination, it says, at some point, and you can become Narada Muni Das, Brajvasi Das, Gauranga Das, by the mercy of the spiritual master. That's causeless mercy.
Well, the thing I've heard in two different explanations. One you just said, causeless mercy means it's way beyond what we deserve. You know, but the point is that you have to do something, otherwise Krishna is just arbitrarily just picking people out. That means,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
I like you, but I don't like you.
So Anu is saying that's not it at all, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I reciprocate accordingly. But the causeless mercy means it's way beyond anything we could ever expect. But others do explain that, no, Krishna just says, I like you. You get it. There just seems to be no reason whatsoever. And that, so what is your understanding of that?
Yeah,
Seems
Srila Prabhupada
contradictory.
said that's the, what do they call those degrees, the honorary degree? They're handed out, but Srila Prabhupada said we shouldn't expect that. Yesterday.
I think there's also this element that I understand. I mean, I'm just throwing this out of this Jnana Sukriti from previous life. So how does that happen? Were you picked out to do the exact? This is from the devotees reaching out for no actual reason, just like someone goes out and do books. You know, I mean, ideally you approach anyone, and there's so many stories how, well, this person really didn't look like he can take a book, but you know, I only have 3 books, I'll try, and the person takes all your books and gives you $100. You know, so that's totally, you know,
The devotee's
you don't deserve it, but the devotee is approaching, and by reciprocating a little bit there, that's you don't even know what you're doing. That's carried forward. Next slide. And that's you know, the person who responds. I mean, how many times have we seen, you know, one family? Like I had my own experience with my brother. In a million years, he wouldn't. You know, the philosophy couldn't penetrate his, you know, barrier. He had got a degree in philosophy from Chicago. You know, he had his own ideas. You know, and I just couldn't penetrate it. So the same family, someone responds and the other person doesn't, because someone has a background that you don't see of the Gata Sukriti or something, and suddenly. So that's another way of looking at it. So that Krishna is just not playing dice, or you know, just choosing arbitrarily. Because then you may carry that forward and say, well, he's also choosing arbitrarily to punish. But we know that's not true, right? Everyone gets just desserts. You know. By the way, that's 1S. That's dessert with 1S.
Just dessert.
Yeah.
You don't get many desserts, you only get one.
Not the point. People think dessert is spelled with 2 S's, but not if it means what you deserve. This is just desserts.
Oh.
Anyway. I'm sorry, I'm an better editor.
You learn something every day.
Better.
So it's gonna be dessert.
invertebrate. Anybody else have something they'd like to share?
You have a question, Bart?
I have just a short.
Ja!
I don't know if they heard it.
How could he do it?
Oh, he does have a question.
I was just hearing that Dharma has been thinking about that all these days.
Wonderful.
You're talking about it. But I asked Guru Prasad Maharaj, and he said that the word kripa is not just mercy, it also means the grace of the Lord. Right? Because when you beg mercy for your life and things like that, but when you go, the grace of the Lord, that the Lord grants you that with love, is a little different. So when we talk about the costly mercy of the Lord, it's more like the grace of the Lord. And the Lord is always, He's always trying for us to go back. But He cannot impose love. That's the only thing Krishna cannot do. So He does everything possible. We turn our backs on Him, came to this material world, offended and challenging, and He's still doing that. It's that grace that He's given. So that
But the main grace He gives is the spiritual master, and go back to the same point.
Well, exactly. He
That
has a
yourself-
parampara, He has all the
That's it.
scripture. So that's what Maharaj was saying.
Thank you for sharing that.
And you did hear it because it's going through this.
Yeah, I was hearing you there.
Oh, that.
How's that for a name? Guru Prasad.
Yeah, that's good.
You can take that one to the bank. Yes, Prabhu.
Just a small point, when you had said that you brought up the point that Krishna's a person, he has his likes and dislikes. You just heard Jananiwas tell a story. He was telling the story about how Mayapur, how it began, and how everyone was living in the hut. And Prabhupada was there. He's saying Prabhupada wasn't like other gurus that everything's okay. You know, it's all good, everything's okay. Prabhupada was a person and he has likes and dislikes. And one thing he did not like was people snoring. Because he got up so early in the morning to translate. So when they're living in the hut together, it was Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and anyone who came, Tamal would ask, "Do you snore?" You know, and so I think he didn't mention the boy's name. The boy said, "No, I don't." And then also in the middle of the night, this boy started to snore. Prabhupada woke up to him and said, "Tamal, he is snoring." So he woke the door and took him to sleep under a tree because there was nothing there. It was just that one hut. He said he had to tell him to go because it could disturb him. He was very upset that the devotee had told him he didn't snore.
Is this the other side of the story?
Oh, I just have something in relation to that.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, Prabhupada, when he was in Hyderabad, and he was staying with a very wealthy person. It was like the fourth wealthiest person in Hyderabad. So a very wealthy person, big house and everything. And then he went to Mayapur, and there was nothing there. And I was listening to talk about Tamal Krishna Goswami, and Maharaj was saying how Prabhupada said, "Oh, build me a hut, in Mayapur." And they said, "Okay, you build him a hut." And Prabhupada was there, and he just came from that wealthy place, and now he's in the hut. So he's sitting in the hut in Mayapur, and he said, "Oh yeah, this is the preference of a Brahmin. They like this." And he said, "I like this," like that. So I thought that was interesting. Prabhupada.
The second side of that story that you shared, I've heard Jananiwas Prabhu tell it a couple, 3 times, is in one night, Srila Prabhupada woke up Tamal Krishna Maharaj and said, "Tamal, you're snoring."
Yeah, he's snoring.
No, Srila Prabhupada, I wasn't. How do you know? You were sleeping.
That's right. I didn't snore too.
Let's see, and slamming doors, I couldn't go in, just break his concentration.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah, crack. Anything else, Prabhus? Thank you for your association. Thank you for your attentive hearing of the Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Amadvaita Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, but Dharma is good.
Can we arrange so that
Well, it's working together. You're actually just going to
Same with that, You're quick to last time.
But we can arrange that. I don't think it's my problem. I think it's a stupid problem. It's definitely a stupid problem.
Thank you, Prasad. Ready, Prabhu. We can arrange. We don't need to. Thank you. What? Thank you.
Come out and share the narrative. That was rare. Dharma say you come down.
I was invited to breakfast.
I'm
taking a double header.
Out of the park. Dharma was